Welcome back to another episode. I'm Emmett.
And I'm JJ.
And this is the Creativity Crew.
I think it's a different one every single time.
Yeah, I've committed to making it different every time. All right, so on today's episode, we do have a topic picked out. We're going to talk about our OC ships. So we're first going to talk about our own OC ships, talk about which ones we like, which one we don't like. And then we're going to talk about the ones that we like and maybe dislike from each other, which I'm going to be honest, I forgot we were committed to that. So I'm going to have to think about, I'm going to have to think for a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to have to be thinking about my own ships.
And then we're going to talk about our OC ships that we have with each other's OCs, which I've devised a fun game for, excuse me, burping, where I have taken the names of all the OCs in the ships, and for each one, I have scrambled them to make the most undecipherable ship name you can think of, and JJ has to guess what characters they are. So we'll see how that goes. But before we do that, we do have small talk. So JJ, how has your day been?
It's been pretty chill. I talked with my mom for almost an hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Made some toast, had crumpets.
You had crumpets?
Yeah, that's what I keep getting from Trader Joe's, one of the things.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never... Wait, what are crumpets?
They're kind of like an English muffin, but not really.
Oh. It's like a fake English muffin.
Yeah.
A spin-off.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're very... The ones I get are like really fluffy and airy.
Mm. Are they like buttery? Or are they...
Oh, I put butter on them.
Oh, okay. Okay, well that's cool. And what else have you done today?
I watched you stream for
Oh,
4 hours.
whoa! Would you believe it? You were on my stream? The Emmett stream?
I was there just as you guys... Or was I a little bit before? You had to switch to Cosmic because Discord hates you.
You were on Discord before we had to switch. Because apparently... So, Discord will let me VC now, which is great, but it doesn't seem to like me streaming. So I have to go to Cosme for streaming, and thank God the Cosme gods smiled upon me today, because sometimes even that doesn't work. Sometimes it freezes up and shit. So, fortunately it worked out on Cosme. You guys like that? Sound of me sipping? What?
No, I'm just laughing at you.
Oh, okay. You're laughing at me, not with me. Yeah, that's basically been my day. Is I woke up, I made an effort to try and appear mentally stable today, because we were just talking like technically not night, like last morning, because it was like 1, 2 in the morning or something, talking about.
Sorry, I remembered the other thing I did today was
Oh,
I
yeah.
finished the book.
Yeah? What'd you think?
I really liked it.
Yay!
I don't know when I'm going to read the third book, but...
JJ just finished Prince's Gambit from the Captive Prince series, aka my favorite of all time. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad about that. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So today I mixed things up a little. I actually put something nice on when I woke up, and I was playing music like when I was walking Peggy and like making breakfast and everything, which I gotta say is such a it's such a little difference that makes a big impact. Because I'm a musical person. I love music. I love singing to music. I was just worried that I was being too loud and that you were in the bedroom like, oh, fuck. God damn it. Shut up.
No, I didn't even hear you singing, so...
Oh, okay, that's good.
I must have been dead asleep.
I was belting a little bit, not gonna lie. When Alpha Dog by Fall Out Boy came on, I was like, ooh.
I must have been dead.
But yeah, that definitely helped. And then I went on check messages and all that. But I committed to doing the 4-hour stream, worked on commissions the whole time. Didn't get any Ko-fi rewards, but that's okay. And I actually finished the commission, so I've had a pretty good day. It's always streaming is definitely motivational for me, and it's just nice to have that interaction to vibe with friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my day has been honestly the best it's been in a while. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I had a pretty good day as well.
And then JJ made me garlic bread.
Yes.
That's always good.
And I have a little bit of garlic butter left.
Nice. Ugh, that garlic butter is so good. So yeah, was there anything else that we're missing we want to mention?
Not that I can really think of. Pretty much the only thing I've done today is watch your stream and read a book.
That's fair. Yeah, the only thing I've really done is stream and take care of Peggy and eat. So yeah. Okay. Peggy is coughing. I don't know what she manifested, but she's coughing. I just love, I don't know who taught her that whenever I go on VC or the moment I start streaming, she starts crying.
Yeah.
She's like,
I think it's because she knows she won't be the center of attention. Except she is.
I mean, even if I'm not going on VC or I'm not streaming, if I just open up my commission work to start working on it, she starts crying. Without fail.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
She's very intuitive. For better or worse.
She's looking at us right now you guys are doing the fucking podcast again. God damn it. Just when I thought that I was safe because Daddy stopped streaming. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start by announcing the ship that you're going to talk about from your OCs. And then, because I have the list right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, and this is blah, 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 and then you'll start talking about it.
Okay, so this is your favorite and least favorite of mine, right? Or are you...
No, this is you talking about your own OC ship. I'm just the announcer.
Okay.
So that way you don't have to awkwardly be like, okay, I'm going to talk about days. I say it for you, and then you... Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
None of this is scripted. We barely talk beforehand.
Talk about Days on Mibium. Go!
Well, I was going to say that's actually one of my favorites. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dazel and Mibium are OTP, by the way.
They are amazing. I haven't really been able to do much with their, relationship yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of their dynamic down, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I love that Mibium is kind of like the voice of reason to Dazel's chaos.
Yeah.
But every so often, when Mibium goes off the rails a little bit, that's when Dazel knows he has to be the voice of reason.
They balance each other out.
They really do. I love their dynamic of back and forth. They have a lot of...
Wait, I want to get really close to the mic when I sip. Hold on.
ASMR. But I love their back and forth. They're very witty with each other.
Yeah.
They love snarking.
Yeah. I really like that it's not necessarily one is the caregiver. They kind of both share that role in a way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I really like that for them.
Yeah. That's part of why I wanted Mibium to be a former Wumpy.
Yeah.
Where he's had to pick himself up and be his own caregiver, his own caretaker. But so he knows what it's like to be in that role. And so he naturally falls into that with Dazel, but Dazel also knows how it is to be in that role and will, when he can, will help where Mibium needs it as well. Maybe in ways that Mibium wouldn't necessarily expect.
Yeah. I think I've said it before, but I like that you don't shy away from them unintentionally like triggering or clashing with each other as far as like their trauma responses go, because that's something I have a hard time, like whenever I try to do that, I'm like my body like tenses up, I'm like, oh, this is uncomfy, but you don't shy away from that with them, and I like that.
I think it's really important to show, because I love their relationship, and as much good as there is, they aren't perfect, and it's like really important to show that, because a lot of relationships, like I'll post about and whatnot, is like very one note. I've noticed a lot of the time. I really wanted to show, like with Mibium and Dazel, they are traumatized people. They have dealt with a lot, and they're going to have those responses, and they have to navigate around them. And occasionally when something happens, like how do they deal with it? That's just really important for me to like explore, especially in their relationship.
I have such a good segue into my OC ship, but I want you to finish your talking.
That is pretty much me finishing.
So speaking of perfect relationships, my OTP, we all fucking know Logan and Cassius. Can you believe? Oh my god, there'd be so many people. No, Derek and Logan, obviously, but that's something I wanted to segue with. Is I get so afraid that I'm making them too perfect, that they're like too ideal, that it's unrealistic, that someone's gonna be like, Derek's too perfect, he doesn't have any flaws, actually. Like, I'm so worried that it gets to that point sometimes.
I wouldn't say that. Derek's a good partner, but he has his flaws.
Absolutely.
And I mean that in a good way.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like that okay, so I could go on about Derek and Logan for fucking ever. But the one thing that I think I love the most about them is that you can't look at those two and not say that they are destined for each other. That they are not perfect people, but that they're perfect for each other.
Exactly.
That they fit so well. And that's something that, you know, I've since their creation, I've wanted that for their dynamic, is that, you know, Logan is the one who at first is like very, very wary and very cautious, and you know, in their original story, obviously it's not love at first sight for Derek either, but Derek's the one that realizes they have chemistry. And as much as Logan wants to deny that, that's true. They have such good chemistry. It's even a running bit in IC that everyone sees their chemistry and just starts shipping them. they're on Twitter and there's people like fan personing about them because they have such good chemistry. But I think, you know, like that, and just I love that, you know, regardless of how they start, whether it's enemies to lovers or it's like friends or strangers, just like regardless of how they start, they always come to understand each other. Like, you know, it's not only so crucial for Logan to have that in his life where he's never had someone try to understand him, try to, you know, respect him as his own person and truly listen to him. But, you know, Derek, like, for him, it's self-imposed. Like he has those own doubts. He has this own like putting other people first and, you know, like don't make it about him kind of mentality. He has this own sort of like guilt sort of savior complex. And having Logan in his life is great for him too. Like that's what I love about them. As much like Dazel and Mibium, they help each other so well. Like they complement each other perfectly.
Yeah.
And I'll stop there because I love them so much. So next for you, JJ, is... You ready?
Yeah.
Berkeley and Octavian. Go.
This is one that...
I gave myself whiplash doing that. You guys couldn't see it, but I was looking back and forth very rapidly from the computer.
This is one that you accidentally started.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, you are. This one started as a joke, and then it became not a joke. but it's one of those, like, they're so fucking toxic, but they work.
Can I just say, your Berkeley and Octavian was literally my Cyrus and Teddy. Like, that is, that's the parallel.
Yeah. Cause, yeah, no, oh boy. Cause it was, I forget exactly how it started, but just like a haha, but what if they interacted?
Yeah. But what if they interacted, and what if it was high, and what if it was a little fucked up?
Yeah.
Like,
I think at the time it was because we were jokingly kind of shipping Berkeley and David. And so I was like, well, who do I pair Berkeley with in canon? And you were like, haha, but what about Octavian?
yeah, I guess I did say, wasn't it also because we were like talking about them like mutually wumping Denise or something like that?
That came later.
That came later, okay. Yeah, it was just like, well, Octavian's right there.
Yeah.
They're both fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're both green.
Yeah.
They got the green going on.
Yeah. Berkeley's is a little more teal than green, but yeah.
Listen. Berkeley's
no, they've
teal.
got the green.
Berkeley's teal is much closer to the green spectrum than it is the blue.
No, I'm agreeing it's green. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing.
I'm having flashbacks.
But I haven't done too much with them. But
you did draw some pretty nice art.
Oh yeah. But
isn't that the header of your Sins blog?
Yes. That's exactly what it is.
Berkeley getting railed.
But I definitely love it, like, dynamic wise, and I love it concept wise, because it's like they shouldn't work. They shouldn't, but they do.
I really like that it's a case where you think Berkeley is like the biggest fish in the pond, and then Octavian comes along.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, snap. But it fits so well with how you've described Berkeley's, like, if not necessarily masochism, wanting to challenge herself, wanting to, like, test her limits.
Yeah. And that is pretty much, like, what it comes down to is, like, the way they fit together is Octavian... Berkeley, I built up, like, on such a high pedestal, and she holds herself to such a high pedestal that she forgets that she's a person.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where when she's reminded, yes, you are mortal, yes, you have feelings, yes, you deal with this shit, she doesn't know how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And Octavian showed her that, like, shoved it in her face, like, I have power over you, you are a person.
Yeah.
And
it's very humbling.
Yeah, for better or worse, she kind of had a moment of, like, well, this person is treating me like a person.
Mm-hmm.
Shittily, but
it's kind of funny because, like, when to me it seems like when they first start off, it's not necessarily a lab wump dynamic, except that, like, I'm not sure how to describe it, but obviously there's kind of a power imbalance. Like, it seems like the more power is in Octavian's hands. And it's such an interesting parallel to how Berkeley treats her own, like, test subjects.
Yes.
Like, how she doesn't treat, her test subjects as people. Like, it's a very interesting parallel to me.
Yeah. Like, at the start, Berkeley is an annoyance. Berkeley is a toy, a plaything.
Yeah.
To Octavian. And Berkeley does not like that. But she really can't do anything about it. And then kind of grows into it, like, well, I don't have to have this responsibility. I don't have to worry about everything I've been worrying about. If I'm like this, I don't have to deal with the problems I've been dealing with for centuries.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it kind of, like, eased up, and she started kind of, like, healing from that a little bit. Still dealing with other shit.
Yeah.
But, like, healing from that. And then Octavian, she then started to him become less of an annoyance, less of a plaything, and more of a companion. A someone to keep company because Octavian's never had that. Everyone who's in his life has always had an agenda, a goal,
Right.
something they wanted from him.
But I wouldn't.
What?
Just say, I wouldn't have that. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I just want kisses.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Is that so wrong? But yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very complicated relationship, and it full stop like starts off super toxic, but it grows into something moderately tolerable.
I mean, listen, like we could go on about morality of, ships and all. It's all fictional. Like, who fucking cares? Like, if it's toxic, at least it's mutually toxic. You know?
Because Berkeley does her fair share of shit too.
Yeah. So we love that for them. Is that all you had to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then I'm just going to segue straight over to that parallel ship I was talking about. Cyrus and Teddy. Good God.
Yeah.
I like what you were saying about like Berkeley is like, not having to have that responsibility and that pressure. Literally Teddy with Cyrus. Like it's a situation where, and okay, like I'll fully admit they started off as a ship, or not even a ship necessarily. I smushed them together because I was like, they're hot and this would be hot, and I like that.
Yeah.
But then as I thought about it, and I always say this, but there's one there's one Tumblr user, Sour Sagas, who inspired me to take the ship a bit more seriously. And when I thought about it, I'm like, this works so well. Because you have a situation where Teddy has a fucking god complex. And it all, like, all of his ego and everything, it all comes from a lack of ego. It all comes from a horrible self-esteem. Just barely, like, glimpsing into his backstory. All of the abuse and trauma that he's endured, like, that's where that god complex comes from. It's feeling like he now has to take that control and keep that control because he's never had control. So he has a god complex, and up until now he's basically been like kind of like, Berkeley, like unchallenged. Like even Dirk got the short end of the stick. Mavic wiped his, like memories and like changed everything, basically magically gaslit him to believe that, Teddy is this god that he loves. So no challenge there. But then Cyrus comes along and it's like, I can't use my powers on you because we're the same thing. Like, it's Teddy's first time, not first time meeting another siren, but like another siren who isn't his parent, like it wasn't his mom, and another siren that actually seems to not be using his powers for evil. We don't talk about Copper Cross Cyrus. But like it's for the first time, he's, aside from Mavic doesn't count, but he's meeting someone that can take him on, that is literally immune to his powers, and someone that is not being ruffled by him, someone who is keeping his composure, someone who is just kind of like amused by him, and is not at all fazed by his like bravado and his whole like mobster act and the whole savior that, like, Cyrus doesn't even have the same religion, so of course he doesn't look at Teddy and see, oh, the savior, and put him on that pedestal. He just sees a guy. And that's what Teddy needs ultimately, is he just needs someone to not put him on a pedestal but also not drag him down to the scum of the earth. I'm getting emotional, but I love that about them. And and on the flip side, like, Cyrus needs someone who is gonna hold him accountable, someone who's gonna motivate him. Like, I think with Cyrus, his main struggle is just that he gives up on relationships. He thinks that, like, well, I can't put the time and effort in. I'm not worth it. They're better off with someone else. And Teddy's like, no, like, you are gonna, put effort in, but like, I'm doing the claw hands because I have so many feelings about them. But going back to what you said with like Berkeley and Octavian, I definitely see that as kind of a parallel. They have some similarities to me that I love. And also, they're both toxic. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. Cyrus is not a good person. Teddy's not a good person. We all know that.
Look, sometimes it's hot for not good people to be good to each other.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's not good people being good to each other. I love that.
What are you doing, Miss?
Oh. And Peggy has reached the stage. She's in the sound booth. Hello, baby.
Do you need to shake?
She needs attention. Well, on that note, your next ship, JJ, is Zeke and Omen.
They're one I haven't delved too much into, but it again kind of falls into that bad people being good to each other.
That is Peggy's tail thwapping against our chairs. Excuse me. I can't wait for the Zeke and Omen content.
I am so excited for the Zeke and Omen content. They are they're an enemies to lovers ship.
Oh yeah.
So they have continuously butted heads. They've hurt each other physically, emotionally. Like they're very antagonistic to each other until they get shoved in a room and forced to work together. And then they start to respect the little things about each other. They learn the details and more.
It's toe licking time. Oh no. I hate how her tail starts wagging once I start reacting. She's like, oh yes, those are signs of positive reactions. For the viewers at home, Peggy's commenced the toe licking ritual, and I am her target.
But yeah. So they start learning like the little things about each other and how they operate and how they function, and it kind of brings like clarity to them.
Yep.
So
no, stop, don't get in between them.
So
That's not allowed.
they definitely have that back and forth dynamic. It takes them a while to get to a point where they're comfortable with each other because again, they do have that hurt behind each other.
Yeah.
It takes them a while to like trust each other. But once they do get to that point, they are absolutely inseparable. Like
I was just thinking that. I'm like, he's gonna say inseparable.
Yeah, there is inseparable and in sync. There's a Tumblr post, and I love this post, but it goes on about kind of the vibes of like dressing someone down, and especially in like spy like type movies where letting them find your hidden guns and things like that, like hidden weapons, allowing them to see where you keep your defenses.
Yeah.
And it's such a good one. And I love the thought of hiding extra weapons where the other person can get them and use them. They are definitely the type of couple that will do that. So like Omen will have things hidden on him for Zeke to reach. Like they operate as a singular unit once they get to that point. I'm so excited for them.
I love that. I love that kind of dynamic. That's why I love doing like seduction takedown plot lines. Because it's like, you know, getting to know someone's weaknesses, getting them to open up to you, earning their trust, and then using it against them. Although I typically don't get to that point. They usually fall for each other. And
yeah.
Logan and Dirk. Well, what did you say?
I was thinking Dirk.
Oh, Dirk and who?
Well, I wasn't necessarily thinking...
Oh, well, yeah, because that's his job,
Yeah.
Yeah, Dirk and Derek have that in common, actually. That's their specialty, is seducing, manipulation, you know. But But yeah, it usually doesn't get past that point.
Yeah.
You know, and especially with Logan and Derek, it doesn't get past that point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They're very. I want them to have very like swashbuckling like teammate type things. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
just they're very much a vibe. They're a specific vibe.
they're very ride or die.
Very.
Yeah. I like that. I'm very excited for content with them. What do I have on my list? Because I've already forgotten. Oh boy. Okay.
There's a lot of Logan.
It's like exclusively Logan. I have David and Logan on here.
Yes, you do.
Because they're not a ship, right? Like, I mean, for sake of simplicity, I call them
Yeah.
a ship. But that one's just so fascinating to me in a very bad way.
Yeah.
In just a very, like, this is so fucked up and tragic kind of way. But I think the one I will talk about is Cassius and Logan. That is one that honestly has grown on me a lot over time. Not as Endgame, obviously, but when I first came up with Cassius's concept, it was actually supposed to be more of a paternal vibe. So, there's kind of a pattern there, but he started off just as Logan's sire in the Vampire AU, and then it got into that intimate Wumper kind of relationship. And then I was like, oh, but what if he's obsessed? But what if it's a different obsessed than Teddy? I think I made a joke post about it at one point, but it's a different obsessed than Teddy. Because of Teddy, it's very much like, I'm using Dirk to feel better about myself. And once I actually address the issues that are creating this, this bad self-image, then I no longer need Dirk to feel better about myself, and then the obsession can kind of end there. There's still gonna be feelings and all that, but not that level of obsession, which it's, okay, fine. It's not like that with Cassius. Cassius is full-blown, you are mine until the day you die, and even after you die, you will be mine in death. Like, with Cassius, Cassius does not care about improving himself. Cassius does not care about changing himself or quote-unquote, like, dealing with his problems. Mm-hmm. He's just fucking balls to the wall, like, I'm a toxic bad person and this is what I want.
Yeah.
So with Logan in particular, to me it's very interesting how there's a lot of parallels with Cassius and Logan to actually David and Logan, because you have the same situation where Logan is not being treated as his own person. He's being, I don't know if idealize is the right word, but they're seeing what they want to see. They're seeing their own version. David obviously is mourning over his wife and seeing similarities there, but also the fact that, it's his son. It's very easy to control and exploit him and groom him. Cassius is seeing, someone that he, yes, on a level can connect to and sympathize with, and he clings on to that. But also he sees someone he can break. He sees someone he can make submit. And that's that's not who Logan is, but that's what Cassius sees. So yeah, I've definitely found their relationship to be more interesting to me over time. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, your next one is Jane and Phoenix.
Jane and Phoenix is another one that's a top contender for favorites because they've been around one of the longest. For those who don't know, Jane is actually one of my first ever OCs. I've been writing with her for almost a decade.
She's an OG.
Yeah, she is an OG. And she actually kept her name. The other one would be Dare, but Dare went through a major revamp.
Huge metamorphosis.
Yeah. Jane more or less stayed the same. But Jane and Phoenix, again kind of go into that balance dynamic, kind of similar with Daisel and Mibium. Like Jane is the voice of reason to Phoenix's chaos. Phoenix, in particular, one of the things I like about their dynamic is as perfect as they present to themselves, very similarly with Daisel and Mibium, like they are not. They have their arguments, they have their situations, they have different ways they deal with things, and they have very different traumas. Phoenix, it will always be like broken up over the fact that she had to leave her family behind in order to protect Jane. Like, does she blame Jane? No. Is she gonna be hurt about it? Yeah. And that's something Jane acknowledges and accepts. Phoenix also is much more of a hothead.
Yeah.
She has a major temper on her, which is something Jane like helps mitigate. I will say she's at least they're very good about like temper and stuff like that and arguments in front of D. But it is something that they deal with. I like them dynamic wise in, again, they balance each other out. They're one of those like they are made for each other. Like it was kind of a love at first sight type thing where Jane was this very like reserved and sweet, gentle thing, and Phoenix was the bold and brash.
I like the fic you wrote with them, the one that's kind of like showing the misunderstandings and how they're kind of misinterpreting each other's actions.
Yeah.
That's good. Quick question: do you plan on going through the whole list, or do you just want to do like a few more?
I'm good with either.
Okay. I will probably not go through my full list because I'm
Yeah.
flagging a bit.
Yeah. I probably won't go through my full list, but there are some that I do still want to touch on.
Well, you go ahead and choose. Choose what you want to touch on.
Well, you go. I finished up with Jane and Phoenix, so you can go next.
All right. I think I just have. Okay, so in terms of ranking, Derek and Logan favorite for sure. I would say Cyrus and Teddy. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of like a second favorite at this point. Oh, okay. So let me talk about the Dirk ships. I'll start with Dirk and Malu, because I love them, but I'm not at a point in like their development and their writing where I love them more than Dirk and Teddy, which is so bad. But I love the fucked up shit. But Dirk and Malu are they have a soft spot in my heart. I created Malu after, I guess for a long time, Dirk was really only shipped with another friend's character, and Malu was kind of like my separation from that. Malu was like, okay, well, I'm gonna, give him his own romance and his own like love interest and stuff like that, because obviously him and Teddy aren't endgame. And Dirk and Malu, I'd feel, are just really great for each other. Like a situation where at first they butt heads a lot. I mean, I like how, unlike with Derek and Logan's dynamic, where Logan is kind of like that angry chihuahua and Derek's just kind of like humoring him a bit. Malu is just as petty and childish as Dirk is. Like, Malu will get on Dirk's level. There's just like, I know that I'm redoing the webcomic now, but one of my favorite panels is one where Dirk like slams his hands on the table and he's like, like accusing Malu of something. And Malu just slams his hands back and like leans over him. And Dirk's like, are you fucking mocking me? But they match each other. And I love that for them. I love that they're both very impulsive, very emotional people, and very, very loyal, very protective, very ride or die. I mean, we look at Malu's backstory, and the things that this man would not do for Dirk is like he would do anything. He would go scorched earth for that man.
Oh yeah.
And and Dirk's the same way. Like Dirk will kill to protect who he loves. Like Dirk will go above and beyond. So they're very fitting for each other. And I love their dynamic. They have great banter. They have great chemistry. I just I've done more of Dirk and Teddy, so but I'll save that.
Let's see. Let's see. How about I talk about Nox and Dazel?
Oh yes, please do.
That's one that it's another fucked up toxic one that I love. Nox is very much wants to be in control and is like told, like he's put in a position of control for multiple reasons. And Dazel, having come from losing control, or him viewing as taking back control, but in a lot of ways was losing control, kind of gravitated towards that. And of course, Nox is this suave, sweet talking thing. He sweeps Dazel off his feet, and they get together, and it just immediately starts falling apart because it's all surface level. Nox tells Dazel how to dress, how to act, how to be proper. And Dazel, just wanting that gratification that he's never had in his life, is just like, okay. And resentment ends up building. Like, that's part of why I really wanted to portray in Dazel and Mibium is they have that level of comfortability to tell each other, hey, fuck off. Yeah. You're making me uncomfortable. Fuck off. Because Nox and Dazel never had that. It was always that silent resentment.
Yeah, I like that, what Dazel needs is someone who values him, but not someone who values him as a trophy, as, a pretty thing to show off. Like, someone who values him as a person. Like, Nox, you misunderstood the assignment.
Yeah. Because, Nox 100% only wanted him as, this is my pretty boy toy. This is my trophy husband. This is...
And I think that's fascinating in itself because it is a reflection of how Nox, correct me if I'm wrong, but how Nox kind of views himself as well.
Yeah.
With that vanity, with that need for appearances.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he wanted the trophy husband, is like, this is something that's going to make me look better.
Yeah.
Like, look at this and then look at me.
He's such a fascinating case study because the way, like, he treats people and then, like, it's all for self-gain. But, he can, like, play the act. He can play that charisma.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating. I love Nox. He's one of my favorites from you. So
yeah. He's definitely not one I've done a lot with, but he's definitely one of my favorites. At least, especially from your eyes. Like, from how you view him and have seen him. Like, it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love just the contrast where Dazel needs someone who, like, respects him as him, but also won't take shit from him.
Yeah.
They won't back down. They will stand up to him, but also won't back off when he lashes out. Because a lot of the time, Nox would just shut him down.
Yeah.
It would, like, when Dazel would stand up for himself, he would always get punished for it.
Yeah, because, trophies don't talk back.
Exactly. So, it very much feeds into that. And
with Nox, it's like, anything you do, even if you were like, oh, actually, I'm not a huge fan of spinach, it's like, well, then that means I did something wrong, but I can't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
So you're wrong, actually. Like, he's so... It reeks of insecurity. But he piles it up with so much ego. Like, it's I love him.
Yeah.
I want to dissect him.
He is so fun.
So he, Nibium, and Omen at this point for me are baby girl. I can't say Octavian's baby girl. I love Octavian.
He's not
but
baby girl.
he doesn't meet the baby girl quota.
He's slimy toxic man.
Yeah, he's slimy. Yeah, he's my slimy snake man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I already mentioned it, but Dirk and Teddy. Oh my god. Tragic. I know someone recently asked me if there would ever be an AU or a universe where they meet up and they date and they just realize they're not good for each other and there's no like abuse involved. And I'm like, I said at the time, I'm like, no, because they're just destined to be toxic for each other. But I think what it comes down to is the point in Teddy's life where he meets Dirk. If there was a universe where Teddy did not have all of that, that unresolved trauma, if he did not have all those unhealthy coping mechanisms, if he had even a shred of a support system, if he didn't have a demon, first of all, in his head, like manipulating him, it's not to put everything off on Mavic, but Mavic was absolutely key in Anuspe, aka Dirk, being taken advantage of. Because I don't know if you know this, I haven't really talked about it, but Teddy, after he escapes the insane asylum thanks to Anuspe's blessing, he's just doing his own thing. Like, it's not great. He's living in poverty. He's actually a struggling artist. He's a struggling painter, but he's just doing his own thing, and he kind of like he resents Anuspe because he didn't come back for him or whatever, yada yada. But he would have just kept doing his own thing had Mavic not shown up and be like, no, actually, your angel got captured and you need to, help your angel out. And if you make this deal with me, then you can have your angel, you can have your salvation for the rest of your life. You can just keep him, like a pet. So if it wasn't for Mavic, but anyways, I'm sidetracking. Yes, if there was a universe where Teddy did not meet Dirk at that point in his life, then yeah, I could definitely see them, being a couple, even having a kid together, even getting married, but then realizing that they're just not right for each other, and it ends in divorce. But God, I love their dynamic so much. I love how messed up it is, because Dirk and Teddy is just one where it's like it seems so good on the surface. Then that's what they want you to think. You look at them and you're like, wow, that's a power couple. They're so good for each other. They've got a kid together. They're a functional family. They look good. I imagine very much like Roaring 20s. You've got this couple that's just all diamonds and Ritz, and you have Teddy's this mob boss that's actually displaying a lot of power and control behind the scenes, and Dirk being his right hand man. Ugh! I love their aesthetic and I love their vibe and I love their history. Every time I write dialogue with Dirk and Teddy, it's just a fucking punch to the heart, because someone described it in a really good way. They used a metaphor, something about a dancers in a music box or something. I can't remember exactly, but you just always get this sense of excuse me, that there's things being unsaid, that there's cracks behind the curtain, and I just love it because they both try to cling on so hard to the good. They both try to cling on to, what love there is, and that isn't twisted by obsession. It's just it's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good. So let's go ahead and pause the recording there so we don't run out of time.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, my tinnitus. That's not fun.
Trying to think. I've mentioned a lot of the ones that I really like, but one of the ones that would probably be my least favorite is probably Darren Richard. Either Darren Richard or Darren Byrne, because
Yeah.
I fucking straight off kill off Byrne because I
Yeah.
don't like them.
Yeah. Is it she? Is it them?
Byrne is she her.
Oh, okay.
I just don't like them together.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I definitely agree with you, but that also because I just hate Richard. Just, punching stupid little nerd face.
Yeah, Richard. He's like a knockoff version of Knox.
It's made even more insufferable by the fact that like you look at Richard and you're like, you shouldn't be able to do this. You shouldn't have this power. Like
You're cheating.
Like, go back to band camp. Like you know it's. But yeah, I feel so bad for Dare in that relationship.
Yeah.
Not even having their fucking identity be valued, man. Like,
Yeah, no. Richard is one of the, like, only, if not very, very few Wumpers I have that don't respect the other person's identity.
yeah.
Because literally everybody else. Richard just has it in his head that he has to be right and everything has to be the way he sees the world.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't fit in that mold, then it doesn't belong. And the reason I call him like knockoff Knox is Knox actually has the charisma.
Right.
Richard doesn't, but he thinks he does, and people treat him like he does.
Right. Like, it's like, I don't care if you're a baddie or a villain or a Wumper, but it's undeserved. You think you're eating, you think you're serving, but you're not.
Because the whole thing with Dare is Dare befriended Richard when they were much younger, and he was one of like Richard's only true friends. Mm-hmm. And then Dare kind of got roped into dating him and started seeing like, because that's what happened is Richard like asked them to date him and they kind of said no, and then Richard kind of went, you mean yes?
That's a yes, right?
You don't get to say no to the Prince of Hell.
Yeah. God, fucking the whole fucking prince. Is he prince or king?
When they started dating, they were prince.
And now he's king.
And now he's king. Because, again, going back to Dare, when Dare went off and found Byrne, the whole thing was when he came back, Richard was like, okay, how do I keep them? Oh yeah, I know. I'll just murder my parents and give them the throne.
Right,
like that's just where he is. He's just so out of it. He doesn't see the full picture.
It would be so okay. Like how I feel about Richard is like if I found out that my like junior high bully was now making millions working at like a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I find out that like they have a wife that they love and they have like kids and a happy family. I'm like, how? How? Yeah, like.
But so it's definitely one that like it's interesting, but not as interesting as some others, and I just fucking despise Richard.
Yeah, I think Richard's the only character of yours that I actually viscerally hate. Like I would string him up by his toes on Big Ben and just like
dangle him,
shoot him.
Yeah,
point blank.
You know, fair enough. Elaborate way to go about it, but sure.
I wouldn't even let him dangle because I know he'd just be saying some shit that would piss me off so much. I just shoot him.
God, so valid. But yeah, so
he'd be like, excuse me, you don't have the right to do this, and I'd be like,
but yeah, no, so he's very much, yeah.
God, your Richard is all of the people who I don't want to say fans, but the people who interact with my work, they're Cassius. Literally, like.
Yeah.
All right. Anywho.
Yeah. And Darren Byrne never really got much of a dynamic. But
Byrne-
even that's shitty because she was just using them.
Yeah, Byrne got fucking deaded.
Yeah.
Didn't Jane kill her?
No,
Oh.
Richard.
Oh, Rich. Oh, okay.
Jane watched her mom die.
Oh, got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like 17. Okay, since you mentioned one that you don't like, I'm gonna mention one straight up. I don't like Charlie and Logan.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's just, I'm sorry. At this point, I may have originally designed Charlie to be maybe a bit more.
baby.
Peggy.
Baby.
Peggy has joined the sound booth. She squeezed herself between us. Oh, she's sniffing the mic.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. Whenever I listen, I love it. I listen and I smile.
What are you?
She's licking the table.
Why are you licking the table,
She is
baby?
licking the table at a awkward angle. When you said she jumped up on a chair behind
Oh
you.
no, she didn't jump up on a chair. She jumped up here. So
Oh.
he jumped up on the chair behind
gotcha.
me.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, she does.
And then I just feel on my shoulder like her whiskers.
Peggy jump scare.
No,
At this
you
point,
cannot have the trash can. I am sorry,
Charlie
but you
is
cannot
just
have the trash can.
so pathetic. I love people who love pathetic characters, but I'm definitely not one of them. Like, he's just a wet paper bag at this point. And you know, he doesn't have any chemistry with Logan, I'm gonna be real. He just wants to think he does. So
You cannot have the trash bin.
yeah, that's basically all I'd say. It's Charlie and Logan's one I don't like. I wonder if there's do I have another one on here I put that I don't like. I'd say David and Lily and just be petty, but no, I actually like. I have mixed feelings about them, but I do think that when it's just them before Logan is ever in the picture, they are good for each other. They work out well. It's just, you know, once Lillian gets pregnant and there's the whole like we're gonna have a baby together, we're gonna have a child, and then they start to realize they have very different philosophies on, you know, raising children. Is when things start to fall apart, and then Lillian fucking dies, and that's awful. But I think I've said before, I forget who I was talking to, but even if Lillian didn't die, even if Lillian was alive, the only difference would be that there would be an escape for Logan, that there would be more support for Logan. David would still raise Logan in the same manner.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I'd say that's one I don't like. Back to you.
A lot of them are just going to be kind of that same, like, talking about, like, balancing each other out. Because I'm looking at Ian and Ryan, and I'm like, yeah, there's that theme again. Where
Bro.
Ryan is the voice of reason to Ian's hot-headed chaos.
I drew smut of them a long time ago.
Yeah, I still
that you
have it.
commissioned, but I know so little about Ryan, actually. I know very little
Honestly,
about...
there's not much to know.
Yeah, I think...
I straight up forgot he was trans.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. That's probably going to be when you might end up, like, revamping or revisiting.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Because Ian and Ryan, what little there is, I do like.
It could also be because Ian looked a lot different when you
Yeah.
paired him with Ryan.
Yeah, Ian definitely went through his own revamp.
He got daddification.
Yeah, at like 22.
Am I wrong?
No. I mean, literally, because he had talent.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have talent,
Yeah.
but he
It
commandeered.
It counts.
He adopted.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really like Ian and Ryan, because Ian is very traumatized. And he doesn't know what to do with himself, and he's so used to dealing with his father and the scientists and just having everything laid out before him. So having somebody who, again, will push back, who won't take his shit,
Yeah.
that will look him in the eye and go, no, we're not doing this. But who will still hold him gently, who will still hold his hand while he's crying from a nightmare, that is soft and gentle with him in a non-judgmental way. It really reminds him of Ash, which is very conflicting for him because he did not like Ash towards the end. Because Ash was impeding his way out.
Right.
And he feels bad that he can't tell Ryan who he is. Not that he'd believe him anyway, because nobody knows there's a Prince of Hell.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard.
Thanks, Richard!
It's gonna be my new thanks, Obama. Thanks, Richard.
But Ryan definitely has a gentle aspect to him. He's very much that. He's very soft spoken. Except when he needs to be loud. But he doesn't like being loud. He doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't like all the other things. He just likes the simple life.
Yeah.
If he were on Earth, he'd be living in a cabin in the woods. Like, he wants just the simple pleasures in life. He cooks, he cleans, he's reads, he's very male life. Which works very well with Ian's chaotic nature. But it really does help Ian in dealing with his trauma of, like, he doesn't know who he is. And so having Ryan be like, here's something that I enjoy, maybe you will enjoy it too. But still fully understanding, like, if he doesn't like it, that's not a judgment. It's not a test. It's not a experiment. It's just he's helping him figure himself out. So it's another really sweet relationship that on the surface it seems like it maybe isn't. Like there's some sort of power imbalance because, yeah, Ian is hiding that he's probably one of the most powerful demons in hell and also the prince. But it was kind of important to me that it has that opposite of Dare and Richard, whereas Richard used his power as the prince to get Dare to do whatever he wanted. Ian, even though he's the prince, he has no power of a prince. He has no authority. And even if he did, he wouldn't use it on Ryan.
Yeah.
That he learns who Ryan is and himself is just by being there.
Yeah. Well, to finish mine off, because I don't have too much else to say, I would just say that Mavic and Dia, I'm not exactly sure where I would place them, because there are interesting elements. The fact that Mavic it becomes interested in Dia because Dia is also dead inside. Dia is also very depressed, very much like I'm just an empty husk, you know. Like, why am I even here? Like, there just nothing does anything for me anymore. Am I even real? And Mavic sees that and is like, oh, hey, twinsies. Like, I think I wrote something of them at one point where Mavic was like, yes, you get it, you understand. Like, you're not special, but that's what makes you special. Like, something like that.
Yeah.
And but ultimately, like, you know, Dia is just entertainment, and ultimately Mavic is I don't even know what Mavic is to Dia. Like, whenever whenever they can get the validation, but I think at this point for Dia, Mavic is just like, I don't want to say like a reason for living, but I do feel like Dia is grateful in the sense that Mavic certainly makes it feel things. Like there is no monotony. There is no, same thing every day, empty void feeling with Mavic. That's impossible. So I think that's probably why, like, if Dia had a choice, that'd be the reason that it stays. Typically in the relationship, Dia doesn't have a choice. So, and then also the one I'll say is Mavic and Cassius is growing on me. I really like the whole Cassius turning his mind off. You can think for me, master, kind of thing. And Mavic just being like, well, aren't you cute? Aren't you sweet? Aren't you adorable?
Do you mind if I use that as a segue, unless you have more to...
No, I'm done with my OC ships.
Okay. So, from our crossover...
Oh, are we going to jump to the crossover?
That's since I don't have much else to say.
Oh, okay. So you want to do crossover and then talk about each other's ships?
Oh, I thought we were talking about each other's ships anyway, as we were going.
No, because I was going to say my favorite ship.
Okay, then we can do that. Shush. I shushed the door, not Emmett.
I just want to say, obviously Daisel and Nibium, of course, but Octavian and Nibium!
How did I know?
I love them so much. Well, for anyone who doesn't know, they're toxic as hell, obviously, but they're just fascinating. They're fascinating. Everything you've written with them is just yummy in my tummy. They're just so good. And then I'd also say, what is it? Oh yeah, Nox and Present.
Oh yeah, that's another one that I'm really fond of. I don't have much for it, but I'm really fond of it.
And I know you also, they're not necessarily a ship, quote unquote, but Nox and Rupert are just so funny to me. They have my heart a little bit, not gonna lie.
Honestly, if Daisel never came along, I could see Nox and Rupert working out.
Yeah, because they actually have that, like, camaraderie. Like,
Yeah.
they're actually, like, bros.
Yeah.
But they fucking.
Yeah!
I love that. I love their dynamic. I love their antics. Oh, there's a dog under me. So, yeah, I'd say those are three I love from you. Is Nox and Rupert, Present and Nox, and Octavian and Nibium.
Mm-hmm. For you, of course, Derek and Logan.
I thought you were saying Cassius and Logan.
Dirk and Mallow.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I don't know much about them, but it's intriguing to me is David and Ruby.
Yeah, David and Ruby that one takes on more of a Mavic and Dia dynamic, where, I mean, David's straight up using her. Like,
Yeah.
She's a good character witness. Like, she's good to have in his pocket. Also, she's not bad at sex. But, and she's not necessarily a masochist, but she hates herself so much that she lets herself get her. So he gets to be as sadistic as he wants with her. And what she gets from it is, I'm getting attention. I'm getting validation. Also, I'm getting financial support. But, it's toxic, for sure. But I think they do have... I think for me, the dynamic becomes very interesting when you factor Logan in the mix. Because then it's like, what do you even... Like, she's technically my dad's girlfriend, but I know he doesn't actually see her as a girlfriend. Like, this is weird. I don't like this. But yeah.
Yeah. So we both had two that are interesting and then, like, really toxic one. Well, Nox and Present are also pretty toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright. Do you want to do the crossover ones now?
Sure, I can
Well,
start.
don't look at that. I'm giving you the scramble.
Oh, the scramble.
Yeah. So turn around. Peggy's like, oh, movement detected.
Okay, this way I'm still close to the mic.
There we go. Okay. All right. Hold on. No, that's not the right one. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. Your first crossover ship is Zikerd. Do you want me to spell it?
Yes, please.
Zekird.
For some reason, my brain is thinking Zeke and David. But I know that's not it.
That's not one we put on. But I made it tricky on purpose.
Because I'm trying to remember who has a Z in their name.
Well, I don't know, JJ. Who of your OCs has a Z in
I
their
know
name?
it's like Zeke.
Is it?
Is it Dazel?
Dazel has a Z in his name. And an E.
Could you say it again?
Yeah, it's Zekird. Zekird.
Spell it one more time.
Zekird. Folks at home, you guessed too.
Still, all I can think of is Zeke, but...
Alright, do you want to take a guess or no?
Zekerd. No, I can't.
Alright, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It's Dirk and Dazel.
You know, fair enough.
Zekerd.
Zekerd.
The actual ship name, by the way, is Dirksel. Yeah, our thoughts on this one. We said a nice like fuck buddies dynamic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like they're both dating somebody else, but they have friends with benefits type thing.
Yeah, and they have more of a sort of frenemies kind of.
Yeah.
Like I'll you know I'll cuss at your face, but if anyone else tries to cuss you out, I'll
Yeah.
wreck them. You ready for the next one?
Sure.
Vic Burr.
Vic Burr.
I tried to make this one easy.
Oh yeah, that's Berkeley and Mavic.
Yeah, Brickvic. I just switched it around.
Hmm.
Berkeley and Mavic.
That's another fun one.
Yeah, because it's a situation where Berkeley's definitely meeting someone her match. maybe taking out a little too much.
Mm.
There's that sexy art of them.
Yeah,
That's
I
really all I
still
can
love
say.
that piece.
Yeah, I really like the kitten written carved. I think carved.
Carved.
Yeah, carved on Berkeley's face. That's nice.
And then I think there's also the OO face.
Oh yeah, the oh. Okay. Next.
Yep.
All right, this one's called Tabby Crab.
Tabby crab.
Tabby Crab. Tavycrav.
That's Cyrus and Octavian.
Damn! Good job. Yeah, that's Octorus.
I don't have too much to say on that. Just that it would be incredibly toxic.
That was the one we said they would need to fight for dominance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're both
tops.
Okay, but let's talk about that. So, realistically speaking, if it was just the two of them in a room, no weapons, no like restraints or anything, like they're literally like they're meeting at a Denny's, but the Denny's isn't public because that would be public indecency.
Does Octavian have access to his magic?
I'm
Or
gonna
is
say
he wearing like the iron
well,
restraint?
since Cyrus would have access to his abilities, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
But The real question is who could get to it first, because all Cyrus has to do is speak.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because, I mean, Octavian has his shadows. Does he know Cyrus is a siren?
I'm gonna say they don't know each other.
Okay.
It's literally just like saw each other on the street. Oh hey, you're hot. Oh yeah, I mean you're okay. I want to fuck you.
I'm gonna say if Octavian doesn't have any context, then it would probably be Cyrus, because...
You could catch him off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But with that though, I will say Cyrus is not inclined to use his gift right away.
Okay.
So Octavian could have a fighting chance,
Okay.
because he typically would. That wouldn't be the first thing he brings out to the ball game.
Yeah. I will say one of the first things Octavian would use is his shadows, so...
Man, during sex, that's kinky.
Yeah.
All right. That would be interesting. Okay, so question.
Mm-hmm.
What if neither of them had their abilities? Like Octavian didn't have his magic.
Then it's definitely Cyrus. Octavian can't punch for shit.
He's gotta get manhandled to the bed.
Octavian's a pretty rich boy.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Cyrus like came fucking fresh from prison. He's got the tattoos and everything. Octavian's just... You got my coat dirty. I'm about to give one that to the baby.
You're gonna kill me.
No, you can't die on the podcast. It'll be bad for
Bad for views.
bad for audience. All right. Okay, so we've decided if they have their magic, then probably Octavian. But if they don't have magic, Cyrus.
Mhm.
Good to know. I will be making fan art. Anyways. All right, next one is Omcus.
Spell, please.
Omcus.
That's Omen and Cyrus.
Yes! Wow, you're doing better than I thought you would. No offense.
None taken.
Yeah, Omen and Cyrus. They could be cute.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be kind of that similar vibe, like definitely that swashbuckling, not good guys being good to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could see them being cute.
I just see it as very much like I'm not saying Omen's a virgin. I'm not saying but you know when it's like you go to like the gay club and you have like the young like inexperienced gay, and then you have like the older more experienced gay. Like that's how I picture it in my head.
You know, that's fair.
Because I also think Omen is in fact much younger than Cyrus.
Oh yeah. How old is Cyrus?
If you convert it to human years, he is about 39.
Okay. He's not too much younger.
How old is Omen?
I could see him as like late 20s.
Okay.
So like 28, 27-ish.
Okay.
Because I can see Zeke being like 27, 28-ish.
Mm. Okay.
So not too much. Like 10 years.
Yeah. So, you look at Cyrus and Tiger, that's also 10 years, give or take. But yeah, I think that could be cute.
Yeah. Plus, I will say, like, as debonair as Omen is,
What does debonair mean?
kind of like suave.
Oh, okay.
It's a specific brand of suave.
Okay.
But he is a bit more blushy in bed. So I can see it.
That'd be fun. I love making fan art anyway. All right, next one is Danovix.
That's Dazel and Janix.
Nope.
No?
Danovix. I took 3 letters from one character and then the full name of the other character.
Could you spell it one more time?
Yeah. DANOVIX.
I'm thinking it's Nox is in there.
That's one of them.
I'm trying to think who else.
Oh, it's not Daisel.
Yeah. Did we have Dirk on there? No.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Yeah.
It's one we like.
Oh, David.
Yeah, Knoxman! David and Knox, baby!
I was confused because I'm like, I was straight up blanked on that. I'm like, because I was remembering there's like Cyrus and Knox and like Knox and what was it?
Oh, you're not gonna like the one I have for Cyrus and Knox. Yeah, David and Knox. For those of you who don't know, JJ and I have a shitpost AU dedicated to this pairing. Where specifically it started with the premise of, well, yes, David is straight, but Knox
Get him drunk enough.
Knox is very feminine. And if you got David drunk enough, and if that hole was good enough, then he'd go for it. And I think we even changed it a little bit to say that Knox is also in drag when they meet.
Yeah.
So David literally thinks, and it's like, just a, like, disclaimer real quick, like it's not any sort of like trans woman, trans man kind of thing. It's literally just like, Knox doesn't identify as a woman.
Yeah. He just wants dick.
Exactly. He just wants dick, and David just wants hole. It's perfect. Yeah. like David says he's straight, but also like that's something Calcio teases him about. She's like, "Are you like I'm not
sure?
I don't want to be an asshole, but."
Theater kid.
Yeah.
Traumatized.
Theater kid, traumatized. We don't want to say it, but fucking his son. But yeah, no, David and Knox is a really funny one. It's basically they hook up, and then afterwards David's like, "Oh, you're not a woman," and Knox is like, "No, but do you want to see each other again?" David's like,
I guess.
Yeah, I kind of do. And it just becomes this, like, you know how, like, old people use, like, Facebook and stuff? Just kind of that, like, Facebook relationship. I did doodles for this AU.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other part of the AU, is that Logan also fucked Knox.
Yes!
He and his dad are whole buddies. We always find a way to traumatize Logan.
Yeah. I love the wedding one where he's just in the background dying.
Oh my god, I gotta remind me to add the art to the podcast post. Derek comforting him.
So good.
And Knox is in the wedding dress having the fucking time of his life. But yeah, in all honesty, that one, it does work to an extent. I mean, like, if it was canon Knox, then I don't see that working, because David would not put up with that.
Yeah.
But in this little AU, in this little shitpost AU that we made for them, they click. I think we've mellowed both of them a bit more for that AU.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it were like in canon, it would have to be a mellowed out post-present Knox.
Yeah, I have to be humbled. But yeah, okay, the next one is Janaket. JANAKET. F-E-T. I took the full name of one character, and then I...
Oh, Jane and Kat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Jane and Kat, which we said could be cute.
Yeah, we know Jane loves a femme. Jen loves a high femme, but Jane also loves a butch.
Oh, yeah. Kat's a good butch.
I can see her loving being like picked up bridal carry by Kat, and just the very like tender sweetness of it.
I think it would work out really well too, because Kat does get flustered, like when it comes to, even just when it comes to flirting, like Kat is not smooth. We've seen her in Four Families.
Jane is. So
Yeah.
I can see Jane flustering her on purpose.
Yeah, which is just great. We love that for the girls. But yeah, I'd say that one's cute.
Yeah.
All right. Noirusks.
Can I get a spelling?
Noyrusx.
Is that Knox and Cyrus?
Yeah, that's Knox and Cyrus. You got that fast. Is it because of the rye? Like, you have Cyrus's, like, YRU, and then you have Knox's fucking X.
The X is a tip off.
Okay. Yeah, Knox and Cyrus. We were talking about this one. Cyrus just wants to make Knox cry.
Yeah.
He wants to fuck him up, see those pretty boy tears. It really wouldn't go beyond that.
Yeah,
I think
no.
in terms of relationships, Cyrus would try to quote unquote save Knox. But that's a lot of time and effort to put into that kind of man. I don't think
he's got issues.
I don't think Cyrus will stick around long.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right, this one. Okay, give me a second. I have to learn new language real quick. Durbumibik.
That's Dirk and Mibium.
Not Dirk.
Oh, Durst.
Yeah. It's spelled Dirbumibc.
I'm surprised I got that one.
I'm shocked. Is it because the bummy is Mibium?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I knew there was Mibium, and the D gave it off like either Durst or Dark.
Yeah, it's either one of them. Yeah, Durst and Mibium we said could be really cute. You know.
Mibium would be really tender and gentle.
Yeah, Durst is a big thing for hunks. So that could be a cute one. In terms of a relationship, I don't see a relationship, but you know, it's fun in bed. Yeah. I can imagine being like friends with benefits type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also
look, Daisel has Dirk, Mibium has Durst. It's fine.
But then Dirk also has Mibium.
Yes.
Because he's gonna slide in on that action. It's gonna be like, Durst, you didn't tell me about your new friend, and like sidle up to Mibium. Wow, you almost got tits as big as I do. Bust out the boys. So yeah, that could be a fun one. All right, this one is Loinga.
Can I get a spelling?
Loinga.
Oh, that's Ian and Logan.
Yeah. Which, bad boy Ian. Lip bite.
And we said this one could probably work out pretty well.
As long as, like, there needs to be a level of tolerance. Because, you know, Logan is... Look, people can look at Angel on the Wall Logan. They can look at Logan when he's, like, at his most traumatized. But, like, Canon Logan is short-tempered. He's an asshole. As long as Ian can have a certain tolerance for that, like, kind of how Derek does, and, you know, in turn, Logan can tolerate, like, Ian's issues and have the patience to kind of, like, work with him through those. Or at the very least, if they can come to a mutual, like, okay, if we feel ourselves getting heated, we're going to take a step back. Like, if they can kind of come to that ground, I could see it working. I couldn't see it long term,
Oh yeah, no.
but I
don't
could
see it
definitely
long
see
term.
like they've probably like they've dated for like 1 or 2 years of their life before they decided they were gonna make friends.
Yeah.
So.
And then I can see them still staying fuck buddies.
Oh
or
yeah,
something like
absolutely. Still friends with benefits until Ryan and Derek come along.
Mm.
All right. Well, this one's just easy. Day Jexel.
That's Daisel and Janix.
Yeah. Hot. Both theater kids. Fuck.
Yes. I feel like they'd admire each other's tattoo.
Oh yeah, there would be tattoo sharing for sure. Because yeah, Janix. For those who don't know, Janix has a tattoo on his back that is a little thing of playing cards that spells out his name, and there's like roses and stuff around it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his tattoo. Not gonna lie, I'm proud of it.
It's cool.
It's cool. But yeah, they'd be hot together.
Yeah.
I definitely see Janix being very much the outgoing, calls Daisel like, hey, you want to go out, see a show with me and go home, Netflix and chill, like that kind of type.
Yeah, I can definitely see Daisel going for like that kind of type.
Yeah.
Very like whirlwind.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they'd be hot. Well, this one I feel is gonna be pretty obvious. Dirtakio. Maybe not. Do you want me to spell it?
Yes, please.
Dirctakio.
Durst is one of them.
No,
No?
the C is a red herring.
Okay. Can I get the spelling one more time?
Yeah. Dirctakio.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Oh wow. Okay, so if it's not Durst, then it's
Dirk.
and Takio. Maybe like a E V. I don't know how to give hints for this.
Cause the only thing I can think of is Octavian.
Yeah, it's Octavian.
Okay.
Yeah, Dirk
I
and
didn't
Octavian.
remember that was one of the ships.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, we said bad, but hot.
Yes.
Dirk loves toxic. All right, this one is Ruda Turpete.
Rupert,
Yeah.
and I forget from the list who we shipped him with.
Well, you don't have to remember. You have to guess from the scramble. All right, I'm gonna spell it for you. RUDATERPTE.
For some reason, my brain is going Rupert and Durst.
Not Durst. It's another D one.
Is it Dirk?
It's not Dirk.
Okay.
It's another D one. D with 5 C's. It's another D1.
Me trying to think. It's not Derek.
No.
Doesn't sound like Daya.
No. You want me to give you a hint?
Yes, please.
It's a brother.
Oh, Dante.
Yeah!
Again, forgot.
Yeah, Dante and Rupert. Which we said could be fun.
Yeah.
I think what my exact words were, Dante would want Rupert's approval.
Yeah.
But like Dante would want to impress Rupert and look cool in front of Rupert, but the moment Dante steps on a Lego, he's in tears.
Honestly, I could see it working because I love the thought of Rupert trying to not impress him, but having someone impressed by him. Because Nox was all vain.
Yeah.
Daisel did not want him. I could see if Dante genuinely is appreciating him and appreciating the validation, I can see it working.
Yeah, Dante's not like Dia level. However, he is pretty puppy dog.
Rupert loves puppy dog.
Yeah, and they're both sadists, so you know it works out.
Yeah.
All right, we have 2 more, and we have 5 more minutes left on this recording. So we have, well, this one's Durmarsley.
Say that again?
Durmarsley.
Oh, yeah. Durst and Marley?
Durst and Marley, yeah. And the last one is Mark Alley. Yeah?
Are you guys going out?
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna set the alarm and go to bed.
Okay,
Okay.
night.
One more time?
Mark Alley.
Marley and someone else? Or...
Yeah, Marley and someone else. Think mutual interests.
Oh, Cal.
Yeah. So Durst and Marley, we said, could be sweet because you know, I mean, they're
Sorry, baby.
they're both kind. You know, they'd both be like nice to each other. And then Marley and Cal is because Cal would be interested because hello, scientist.
Yeah.
So that's basically what those come down to. All right. With just 3 minutes left on the recording, I think we've covered everything.
Okay.
If anyone managed to get any of these scrambles correct, comment Emmett's names suck. And I will give you not just one doodle, but a 2-person doodle of a ship that you give me. Now, is there a way that you can prove you actually got it right? No, this is a trust system. So you break my trust, I break your legs. I'm kidding. That's a threat. Don't listen to that. All right. Anything you want to add?
Nah, that about covers it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. This was fun. I don't know. There was something that really got me. The seeing your expression was just really got me. But yeah, this was fun. If you guys, as always, if you have any ideas for topics or anything you want us to cover or talk about, let us know. And I hope you guys take care. Have a good day or night, and peace.